Right then, let's look at the intro, which goes something like this. And then the vocals start. Right, there's quite a few chords in this, but the good thing is once you've mastered the chords in the intro, you're just about mastered the chords in the whole of the song, apart from a few weird ones, which I'll teach you a bit later, which are really good fun to play. Right, so first of all, let's look at the chords. We're starting off on a C sharp minor. So I'm going to show you different ways of playing this if you're not that familiar with bar chords or struggling. It's the whole idea of this to help you build you up. So we're going to start off with a C sharp minor there, which has played this. So I'll quickly run through the frets for you here. We've got 4th fret bottom E, and then we've got 4th fret A, and the D and G strings are 6th fret, 6th fret, and then we've got the 5th fret on the B, and then the 4th fret on the top E, like that. Okay, this has got quite stiff strings on it. Stiff strings? Not stiff at all, no. It's got quite heavy gauge strings, so I have to press down quite hard as well. If you're struggling with that, there is another way you can play this, and that is like this. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly run through that. So you must not play the A and the E, bottom E and bottom A, but you can play the 2nd fret of the D, the 1st fret of the G, and the 2nd fret of the B and the top E. Pretty close, isn't it? If you can master the bar chord, all the much better. Okay, so C sharp minor, that's how your C sharp minors. Then we're going to go to a straight open A chord, standard A chord there. And then to a standard open E major chord. So we have. Okay, then we're going to go to a G sharp minor or A flat minor chord up to here. So up there. Okay, so for this chord, again, we're on the 4th fret of the bottom E. Then we've got the 6th fret of the A, 6th fret of the D, and then the 4th fret of the G, B, and E. Looks like an E minor shape. Taken all the way up there to the 6th fret and barred across at the 4th. Okay. Other chords we have, unfortunately, here are a bit more complicated as well. We have, well, I say it's only one more. So the B chord there. So you can play the B chord like that. You've got the A shape there, and the open A. Move it up 2 frets from the 2nd to the 4th and bar on the 4th there. Or if you struggle, and this is the way I play it, it's not a lazy way, but it's a fine way. I just use my little finger, or you can use your ring finger, to bar across there. So effectively, the notes that we've got, if you're going to play the full chord, or the notes, the frets are bottom E2, A2, 2nd fret, and then you've got the 4th fret on the D, G, and B, and then you've got the F sharp, which is the 2nd fret on the top P. I tend to do this, muting that top one there. So I'm just putting one finger, you can put whatever you like across there, and just bar and making sure that I hold down the 2nd fret of the A string there. Like that. Muting that. If you don't mute it, it sounds like a jazz chord, and we don't want that, do we? Okay, so they're the chords that you need to be able to play the intro. Okay, so before we actually go through the rhythm patterns and the changing, what we'll do a little bit of a chord changing practice in the sequence that the chords are played. So we have 4 downstrokes. We're going to do downstrokes to start off with on the C sharp minor chord, like that, and then we do 4 on the A, like that. So it's then the bottom, and then the open E, and that's 8. Okay, one more time. Then we go to the G sharp minor on 8. Then the C sharp minor. I think that's on 4. I'll just check that out for you. I'll play it all the way up to that point now, starting from the beginning. 8 on the E. Four on there. 4, so that's 4 on the C sharp minor, 4 on the B, or you can play the full chord, and then back down to the A. on 8, I believe. I'll just do that again. Okay, starting from the top, C sharp minor on 4. A, E on 8. Then we're up to G sharp minor on 8. 4 on C sharp minor. A on 8. And then the vocals come in. Okay, so what I would suggest on this one is just in your mind or write it down what those chords are. So you've obviously got the other way of playing the C sharp minor there if you want. Doesn't sound as good. So if you listen to the beginning, no. Doesn't sound quite as good open wise. But if you struggle, you can play that. Or if you're more advanced as well, if you don't need to play the A here on the open, you can actually play it in the barred position there on the 5th fret if you know how to do that. And we'll chord both of them for you up there. Right, okay, so now you know what the counting is. What we need to do now is try and put a rhythm together. So I'm going to play through the intro a couple of times and I'm going to mute the strings so you can see the rhythm that I'm playing, okay? It's not an exact science, but it's like you've got to get that sort of lilt to it, because when you come to play the verse, it expands a bit more. I'm not going to sort of go through downstrokes, upstrokes. That's not the way to do it, I don't think. And you can, you know, that's the very, very basic rhythm. And you can just put different little embellishments in. Like that. But as long as you keep that sort of pattern going, then you're laughing. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we'll run through. I'm going to now play the intro through you. I'm going to play the intro through you. Now I'm going to play the intro so you can join in after a count of 4, starting on that C sharp minor. And in your mind, if you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Write it down, write the counts down, and you can look at it while you're playing as well. So after a count of 4, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang, we're now into the verse. So keep practicing that intro. When you've done that, I'd suggest obviously downstrokes, making sure it's nice and smooth before we move on to the next bit. So now let's crack on and have a quick look at the verse.